So now you know all the 5 candlestick pattern, powerful candlestick pattern. So I'll explain you about this framework, TAE framework, or trained area of value entry trigger. Remember I said that you cannot trade only depending on the candlestick pattern. You cannot trade in an isolation. Okay, so you have to use many other factors before getting into trade. So yeah, this framework will help you uh, in trading. Okay, so let's understand about this. So as you know, the full form of TAE is trend. T stands for trend, A stands for area, and E stands for entry. The question is how this candlestick patterns fit into this framework. So the candlestick pattern is used to get an entry into a trade. All right, so by understanding the pattern you actually trigger the trade. So yeah, as you know that we can't trade in isolation by only using this entry trigger. So we have this different market factors that we have to consider. Those are trend, area, okay, area of the value. So what is this trend actually means? Okay, so as you can see that uh, if the price is above 200 MA, that is 200 MA, then you have this long bias. What is the meaning of long? Long means you can actually uh, have the permission to buy stocks, right? And if the price is below the 200 MA, then you have a short bias. That means you can you have a permission to sell stocks. All right, so yeah, so this only trend doesn't gives you tells you that you should buy immediately. It just gives you a permission that yeah, you can actually start buying or you can actually start selling. So that is the meaning of trend. All right, the second thing is area of value. So what is this area of value? Is a area of prices where you can actually have the permission to buy stocks. Because consider if you are going to any market, you just don't buy products by looking at the price, right? You have to see whether the price is reasonable or not. So here the area of value means that if the prices are inside this area, the value of the stock is reasonable and you have the permission to buy or sell. So in our uh, charts we actually use support resistance, or we use moving average or trend line. So these are the area of values which indicates that you are good to go for trading. So the last thing is entry trigger. You are already familiar with these candlestick patterns. So this entry trigger is basically it's a trigger point where you actually initiate the trade. Okay, so that is where this candlestick pattern fit in. And yeah, we'll also check it out that um, that this above two uh, the above two points of this framework meets. Alright, so conditions are met before getting into a trade. So now we'll formulate trading strategies and we'll try to check it out in real uh, trade market by giving you some examples. Now we'll look into some examples. We'll look into some of the real life market trading strategies. So this is an example of a stock price. Okay, so uh, here we need 2 3 we'll okay, one second. Okay, here you can see that here the uh, 3 points or the 3 conditions of this TAE framework met or not. Let me check. So the first thing is like the trend. What is this trend? As you can see that these prices are going up and down. Okay, all right, so we have the trend and it's going slightly down on a bigger picture. All right, So we have the trend and we have this resistance. Okay, this resistance line which actually gives us the area of value. Okay, we have this trend, we have this area value. Now we have this trigger or this point where it gives us an indication that you can start going short or start selling. Okay, so this is where this TAE frameworks comes handy. Now we look into the next example. So here what are the uh, TAE in these cases? I'll check it out. A question that we'll ask ourselves is uh, we'll ask that whether where is the trend. So where is the trend? The trend is that it is going down. All right, it's a downtrend chart. All right, now the second question is where is this area of value? We have this dynamic resistance. This is basically a 50 period average, so it is acting as a resistance for this stock price. Okay, and yeah, this tells us the area of value. Now the third thing is, do we have an entry trigger to start the trade? So we have that. You can see that this bearish engulfing pattern tells us that this is actually a entry for going short or starting to sell. Okay, so yeah, we'll go to the next example. So the example 3, here also you can see this is an uptrend. It is going up, and we have this area of value, this dynamic support, and also have this entry trigger, this bullish engulfing. So yeah, this is a point where you can go long, you can go long. All right, you start buying stocks and then you can sell. All right, cool. Now we'll look into the next example, this. Okay, here you can see the uh, there. Okay, all right, so yeah, you can see that here it is a upward trend. Okay, where is the trend? It is an upward trend. Do we have an area value? Yeah, there is a trend line support. Okay, and do you have an entry trigger? We have an entry trigger. This is the entry trigger. Okay, and if you draw one more resistant, one more support line, okay, it will meet up here. Okay, so this gives you one more entry trigger along with this bullish engulfing. So this is a proper time for going long. All right, so yeah, here also you can see that we have used TAE framework for getting into a trade. Okay, then the next example, here you can see you have this downward trend stock prices. Okay, now we have this resistance as an area of value and tweezer top, okay, as the entry trigger. Okay,